is identify the words of literature, reading the lesson plans, cycle 1, select appropriate activities before, during, and after reading. Third one, create a lesson plan in teaching literary selection for children. Just like other lesson plans, the lesson plan in teaching literature is prepared by the teacher to guide him or her in presenting the lesson in an orderly and smooth manner. In such, learners can engage in activities that are meaningful, foster and ensure attainment of desired learning outcomes. So here in our introduction, the lesson plan gives a logical sequence of activities focus on best practice based on research and experiences of the teacher. So, like other lesson formats, lesson plan contains 6 major parts, and these are the following: learning outcomes, content or subject matters, learning resources, learning activities or procedures, and evaluation, and the last one is assessment, like assignment or agreement. So first is we have the learning outcomes. These are the given definition. Portion is preceded by the statement of content standard, performance standard, and learning competency, which are all set in the curriculum guide for the subject in each grade level. So when we say learning outcomes, these are the clear statements that describe what a student should know, understand, and be able to do as a result of a learning experiences on a set of learning experiences. So the second one is content standard. So in content standard are broad statements that specify content areas that learners should learn at each grade level. So when we say content standard, this defines what students are expected to know and understand in a specific subject area at a particular grade level. So for example, student will learn about the parts of speech. So it's like that. So the third one is we have the performance standard. So performance standard, and these are the anticipated measures or evidences that learners have met content standards. How will they learn the content to qualify how well the performance is? So when we say performance standard, they specify how well students must demonstrate their knowledge and skills. So for example, students will write paragraph with correct grammar and punctuation. Now let's proceed on the learning competencies. So when we say learning competencies is the specific indicator of achievement of the learner after instruction. Yeah, so the learning competencies are the specific skills, knowledge, and abilities that are expected to learn
and demonstrate after a lessons or activity. So they describe what learners should know and what they should be able to do. So learning competencies in simple terms are target or the learning goals or goals of learning. They guide teachers on what to teach, students understand what they learn. No, so examples of the learning competencies like identify the main idea, add and subtract whole number, describe the water cycle. So, muna siya ang mga examples of the learning competencies. So, what is the purpose of learning competencies? Guide lesson planning, help teachers assess student learning, and of course, ensure students learn the right skills and at each level. Okay, next is the objectives. Now, so objectives is a clear and specific statement that describe what learners should achieve after a lessons or activity. So it tells what student will know or be able to do at the lesson or class. So the simple terms of the objective is the goal of the lesson. And when we say the good objectives are ginatawag siya nga SMART, no? So nang specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time bound. So examples of the objectives is examples like student will be able to identify the parts of a plant, no? So student will perform the basic warm up or exercise correctly. So that is the objectives. Next is the subject matter. Next is the subject matter. I think the subject matter and objectives is familiar na siya sa inyo, no? So, the subject matter is refers to the main topic or content that will be able to taught in a lesson. So, it includes the key ideas, concepts, or fact and skills that student need to learn. So, the subject matter ang part sa subject matter is the topic, concept or key ideas, skills, values, and materials. So example, sa topic is like for example, part of the plants. So muna siya ang the subject matter. Next is the learning resources. So what is the learning resources? So when you say learning resources are the materials, tools, references used by the teachers and students to help make learning easier and effective. So the simple terms of learning resources are anything you use to teach or learn a lesson. So examples of the learning resources like books, videos or pictures, modules, PowerPoint presentation. So that is the examples of the um, learning resources. So what is the purpose of the learning resources? The purpose of the learning resources is to make the lesson clearer, support different learning styles, and make learning more engaging. So that is the learning resources.
Okay, learning activities procedure. So sections presents the orderly presentation of activities to engage learners na in the study of reading selection. So to develop enjoyment in reading no, and to understand the message of what is read. And then the second one is before reading or pre-reading. So this is considered the most important part of the reading lesson no, because it provides learners with activities to set the stage of reading and motivate and hook them to the reading task. So activities are aimed at stimulating learners' interest in the text now. And then the second one is developing concept related to the topic or the story. And the third one is activating prior knowledge. And the fourth one is unlocking of difficulties. And then the fifth one is developing the purpose of reading. So now we will proceed to during reading or while reading. So the teacher models explains no, or shows or represent to the class what they are expected to learn. No? Initially, reading should be used no, according to Anderson et al. 1985. So reading aloud to children is the single most important activity.
after reading or post-reading na punta, this part of the lesson engage the learners to share and discuss their ideas about the selection read the rest of the class. So, ang kaning post after reading or post-reading, this is the student-centered phrase for reflection and discussion. So, it promotes critical thinking, collaborative learning, and personal engagement. So, it encourages learners to share interpretation, reaction, and connection during your class. And also, it facilitates group or class discussion to deepen more understanding. And next is the evaluation. So, evaluation is a form of quizzes or other ways to measure the attainment of the prescribed competencies. So, when we say about evaluation, it is to assess whether students achieve the lessons learning objectives, and it provides feedback for both teacher and students, guiding future instruction and support. And when we say about evaluation, diri na mo cater or diri mo provide ang mga use quizzes, performance tasks, or oral responses. Align the assessment with prescribed competencies. Dapat sa evaluation is diri na nimo ma-align imong learning objectives sa imong lessons nga gigamit. The last is the assignment. The information given to the learners what to do and how to do it as a carried over follow-up of the lesson or in preparation for the next day lesson. So, when we say about assignment is to extend learning beyond the classroom. It reinforces learning, builds independence, and prepares students for upcoming content. So, ang assignment is it gives clear instruction on what to do and how to do it. So, as a teacher, you need to clear your instructions so that the students must answer correctly. And also, it connects the task to the current lesson or prepare for the next lesson. And I think